What is up, everyone? Welcome to Plastic-Boi Podcast, a show where we break down the video game news of the week. My name is Fonzie. I'm joined by my co-host, indie game dev, because I couldn't think of anything else, Gavin Jones. Gavin, how are you doing?
Good. I'm not rested at all after this weekend of frivolities for 4th of July, but
did you make sure you did your due diligence and post your like fireworks photo that's grainy as fuck and like no one wants to see?
no, because I am pretty bad, but I am not literally the worst. Yeah,
because that's a standard. That's a
also I was on a boat,
standard.
so I wasn't going to bring any electronics out there with me when we were doing fireworks.
That's the way to do it, though. Yeah, we didn't do anything crazy here. I grilled a little bit. I think we tried last week to drive around and see fireworks, but it was just like, eh.
I think it's funny that, yeah, we're in Yakima Valley and they banned fireworks, but they said, you know, come to downtown to watch like the city fireworks show, which from what I've heard did Jack Diddley Squad, and fireworks were all over this year.
Oh yeah, it still happens. Like I think I read the next day there was like 15 whatever, at least calls or fires, so the fire department was just spread thin.
Sure.
And, you can say that, people are gonna go, okay, cool, and then they're just gonna shoot off their fireworks.
Good God. But we haven't chatted for a while. Have you watched anything? Have you played anything? Well, what have you watched? Before we get into the games,
What have I watched?
Did you watch new Loki? Are you all caught up on Loki?
All caught up on Loki. Give me all your spoilerific takes on it.
No spoilerific, but
I don't know how you can talk about without spoiling stuff. But
okay, if we're gonna be spoilerific, they literally killed everyone. They're all dead.
True.
I'm fucking jacked for what, like, the last episode, things were looking pretty grim, and then they got out of it by touching each other, and I do love the concept of Loki falling in love with himself. Right. That is, if anyone was gonna, he's the one that would do it.
It is perfect for his character, yeah. Although it's not technically him, but it is him. It's just a different dimension. I love how they end the newest episode because there's possibly more, which that's what I always thought the show was going to be. These, like, not just the one version of him, but many versions. And it seems like now they're going to show that in this next one. Is that today or is that tomorrow? For the
tomorrow for the new one.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can't wait. I've been watching that a bunch.
I checked in case I was wrong before I came here.
That's good. You did your research. When does Loki premiere?
Yes. And Owen Wilson continues to be more and more adorable.
He's awesome.
I think it kills me that he reminds me so much of my uncle.
Oh, really?
So when I see him, he's talking kind of slow and sweetly and adorable. I'm just like, this is my Uncle Bruce. Like, but yeah, Owen Wilson is... He's really acting his ass. That scene alone, this has two big scenes, two big interrogation scenes.
Yeah.
Where they really do a lot of up close shots and emotions and just dialogue, and it was tremendous.
Yeah, no, I think I was telling you before, like I want to see more of these shows now. I'm really not interested in the movie format. They could just have more time to do stuff. They can bring in these actors that maybe don't want to sign in for a whole series of movies, but they can jump into this show and just do this one arc. And yeah, I'm a big fan. Owen Wilson's awesome. Is it Tom Hiddleston, Loki character?
I think awesome. So, yeah. And he's also a huge nerd, which is great because he loves what he's doing. I do also appreciate, so it always stresses me out when shows get to this point, like especially like Stranger Things, but when it becomes the main characters versus the goddamn universe. And we are now at that point, very stressed out. But that makes these things amazing and super epic. But it's them versus everything.
Right.
Which is absolutely thrilling.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what happens. And it's kind of a shorter season. I think it's 6 episodes, and we're on what, 4 or 5?
Is that all?
Yeah, it's pretty short.
Oh, I'm glad you told me in advance. Yeah. Ooh, buddy.
And then after this, I don't know what other big shows are going to fill in the gap. I guess you have what's her face, Black Widow's movie came out or is coming out.
Yeah,
it might already be out.
The NPR's description of that movie, it was not too little, but it is too late, which is, I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
I don't.
But yeah, I'm stoked to see where this goes, and I just want more shows like this. And
yeah.
Other than that, we have Spider-Man coming out eventually. There's that terrible Venom sequel that's coming out eventually.
Oh God.
Why
is my boyfriend Tom making another Venom movie?
You know what? He's helping to write it. I just read that today. So he's like one of his first writing credits is on this sequel to Venom. So maybe it's
Really?
better. But it's just that trailer's very cheesy to me. But
it makes me a little bit nervous because I think he directed that movie where he plays his own twin.
Oh, really?
I think he directed that. And while his acting was out of this world, that was a story that didn't need told. I got to the end of it and it's like, okay.
Yep, you're all set.
Neat.
Gotcha. What have you been watching?
I think Loki, I want to say I forced my girlfriend to watch Snatch over this weekend.
Oh, you know, I haven't seen that in a long time, and I just picture Brad Pitt because that's one of the
God, he's so good.
characters where he's like super ripped too, like Fight Club ripped. I think even more scrappy than Fight Club too. And then playing that character who's just like speaks really weird and yeah.
Well, it's because he couldn't do the accent. He was supposed to be Irish. He couldn't do an Irish accent, so they rewrote many characters to make it work around his terrible. He notoriously cannot do accents.
I guess you're right. The closest I can think of is in Inglourious Bastards. He has that southern sort of accent.
Was that like Netflix one where he walks super stiff? I forget what that one's called, but he's like, I think he's like running the tail end of the war in Iraq or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he can't accent to save his life. Great actor though.
Yeah, he's dope. Did you watch him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
No, I never saw that one.
Oh, dude. So good. But also, yeah, no accent in that movie, but he's fantastic. Yeah. Fantastic.
Is that the one he's like where what's his name's his stunt double?
Yeah, so he's a stunt double for Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's such a weird concept.
Yeah. It involves the Tate murders, the Manson Tate murders, but it's like a spin on it. It's really good. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's freaking dope.
Gotcha.
You gotta watch it. It is like 5 hours long, but it's so good the entire way.
5 hours, Jesus.
I mean, that's exaggerating. It's like 2 hours. But
well, I know it's been a busy week. Have you played anything?
Not really. I'm chipping away at Ratchet, and then just recently, for some reason, I started jumping back into Zelda Breath of the Wild. So, although I couldn't transfer over my save, so I'm going in bare bones from the beginning, but now with more knowledge of just like how to traverse. And I'm having fun. I just want something where I can fully escape, and that's my ticket out of here is Zelda.
It's probably some of the best escapism out there. You did beat that game.
I beat the main storyline, yeah, but there was so much I didn't do, and I want to go in after 2 weeks ago when they dropped that trailer for the new one. I'm just like now on board to learn more about it and play more. And then as we're playing, like me and Megan will try and figure out like when does this happen and what's this connected to? Because I think this is in the far future. It's like at the end of the timeline. Megan was telling me apparently.
Well, they've several people have broken it down. The problem is it combines elements from every single timeline, so that's why no one knows where they are.
Gotcha, and that's cool because it leaves you guessing basically. Yeah. But yeah, what about you?
I think I played a few demos. I didn't do much. Ow, could you not?
She's stepping all over you.
But there's a game, one game I think you may like. But it's interesting. I think it's published by Devolver. What do we get here?
You know what I need to try is Phantom Abyss. I think it's in early access right now.
Phantom Abyss?
That's the one where it's like a one shot, but I don't think it truly is, but it's a maze or like a runner kind of thing, temple runner thing.
I'm guessing you have one shot per day. There's no way it's just one shot, but I'd be down for one shot. That's typically how like I'd play roguelites is I'd do the daily and then I'd stop.
That's why I play Returnal. When I die, I just end it for the day because I don't want to play anymore.
I kind of think that's a fun way of doing it.
Sure.
And especially if you have, now it got to be a problem because I had so many roguelites that like I'd get home from work at like 10 o'clock and I'd play one run. I do the daily and all of my roguelites and I'd be done at like 1 in the morning. And I'm like, this is not healthy. But Boomerang X. So look this one up. It is gorgeous. Caps lock is on, but it totally works for this one.
Because I'm yelling.
But this, I believe, is published by Devolver. Yes, it's published by Devolver. It's got a really cool style.
Oh, I have seen this. Yeah, this is out soon, right?
Yeah, the controls are super simple and very, very fast paced. I don't know if I like it or not, but it's very. Oh, is that a different weapon?
Now, are you a mummy?
I don't know. It is possible.
It looks like a mummy.
You definitely have bandaged up hands. All these environments, you can tell, this is the crazy thing. They're not recycling an ounce of any of these environments. At least in the demo, nothing is repeated whatsoever. So
Like it's procedural or
no, they're just like
So
all
much
these
stuff.
handcrafted environments. There's no repetition between the last environment and this one. So I feel bad for these artists that it's just like, all right, throw it all out the window.
Yeah.
Make the next arena.
Dang.
But it's pretty fun. It's very fast paced. So you can throw the boomerang and then you can like pull yourself towards it for a quick dash.
Ooh, grappling hook situation. That's the new Kratos axe that he's throwing. That's
Yes.
so dope.
The other one, I think you should give a shot because I think the demo is still out. Now the demo is out for Boomerang X.
Okay, cool. I will
Stop
definitely
trying to
download
eat
it.
what's ever between the couch cushions. But Severed Steel,
Oh, I just saw this one too.
dude.
I watched Jeff. Oh boy, I always blank on his name. But the Twisted Metal creator.
Yeah, I know what he looks like. I
Jeff
can't
Nowitzki, it's
stop.
Lalo?
But I mean, here's the thing. So I've always thought I didn't think that what's that game I love? Hotline Miami couldn't be done in a first-person view because Hotline Miami you had to be looking from the top down. But this game, like, you don't have much health whatsoever. Neither do the enemies, and you're just going around tossing guns at people, destroying the environment. It's absolute batch. I've definitely not seen that gun that just melts through walls like that. That would be great. But you're hopping through windows, just doing absolutely batshit crazy things.
Yeah, it was David Jaffe I watched play this.
Oh, David Jaffe. Yeah. I mean, I would honestly consider the person playing right. Oh, okay, they got a little better. That first couple of shots, they were playing pretty boring. But yeah, your guns don't have much ammo, so you're gonna have to be swapping them out. You know, you run out of ammo, you throw it at an enemy. They're dazed, so you run up, punch them, take their weapon. Like,
so you really want to run around and use the environment because you have to pick up weapons.
It's fun.
The slow-mo looks really cool. It reminds me, it's not the same at all, but if you remember Fear.
Actually, so having played it, I would describe it quite a bit like Fear. Especially with the enemy design. I would say it's like Hotline Miami mixed with Fear.
Dope.
But that being said, your slow-mo is pretty limited in this.
Gotcha.
And the way you refill it is by killing people. So yes, you can use the slow-mo as sort of a crutch, but you better kill people when you're doing it.
Right.
And then if you want to dodge bullets, you can dive and you can slide. So you're going to be doing a lot of diving and sliding, and like these enemies are like, yeah, the ones with the jetpacks, those are fun and also terrifying to fight. I'm definitely not doing flips in the air like this guy is. That's pretty crazy. The destructible environment. It
seems like even the bullets will do damage, and then if you have a bigger weapon, you can blast through walls and doors and all that.
Yeah, I think this has potential to be something people are going to talk about much in the way they did about Hotline Miami. Now, I don't think there's a story in this.
That's fine.
But yeah, these environments back like Hotline Miami, it's a really fun puzzle and go murder shit.
Right.
So, and that's really something cool. You have to keep in mind too, because they're going to have the same guns every time. So it's like, okay, maybe I'll kill this guy. I only have this much ammo left. I'm going to kill this guy, take his shotgun, kill these people, take this guy's gun.
I see.
So, man.
Kind of build a path, basically.
Yeah, I highly recommend you play the demo. It's pretty fun.
Nice. Yeah, I just, a couple of days ago, watched David Jaffe play it. And as soon as I was watching the footage, like, I got to download this thing. And yeah, it looks really cool.
You can still check out the demo. Highly recommended.
I will do that. Play anything else, Kevin?
I think that's it, as far as I know.
Gotcha,
Teamfight Tactics, because I'm a loser.
Yes, that's very true. We can jump to the big news today. Anyways, was the reveal of the Nintendo Switch OLED model. So that happened. I'll play the
AKA the SWOLED.
The SWOLED.
That's what people are starting to call it. Everyone call it. Please, God, that's too perfect.
So some details on what they revealed. So this is tied to, for a long time, we had the rumored Switch Pro stuff, and basically it hits all those same bullet points as a lot of those rumors, except for any improvement on the hardware.
Yeah.
But this was...
Well, it's got more storage. It's got a LAN port. Enhanced, so it does have enhanced.
There are enhancements too, yeah.
Hardware.
So it's $350. Launches October 8th. You have a 7-inch OLED screen.
$350. That's not that much different than a Xbox Series X or a PS5.
Or the Series S is, I think the Series S is around $300, maybe $350.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's already, so as far as, if you're looking for a performance that's equal, no, it's not going to be that, but it's handheld. So you have the OLED screen, that's the big deal. 64 gigabytes of internal storage versus, I want to say 32 on the standard Switch.
No clue.
I want to say, I always use a little SD card. So
I immediately upgraded that storage.
Right. They're so cheap, yeah. Wired LAN port for when it's docked. You have that wide adjustable stand, which is really cool, actually.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That kind of helps with the fact that the charger is still on the fucking bottom.
You're right. What the hell is going on there?
Nintendo.
God,
no one likes that.
Yeah, that's really bad. But then you have the enhanced audio, so better speakers. So it's nifty. It's just not what was rumored for a while. And it was like big outlets, like Bloomberg was one of the first ones to start talking about it. Ended up not being the case. But you brought up where maybe that was the plan, but there's the whole chip shortage, production issues where maybe they just couldn't do it, so they just concluded everything else.
Wired LAN, I didn't actually realize wired LAN was not in the original base unit.
You know what? There is I forget, not on the dock, so that wouldn't work, but there is USB-C adapters that have a LAN port. So I wonder if you could rig it to somehow be supported through LAN, but this lets you like 100% use it that way. I
think there's an official support for LAN.
And the demo shows, various things, people playing it, but they show at one point someone playing that Squid Game, but still having right here, or maybe the next one.
Oh, Splatoon 3.
Splatoon, but still having to use their really dumb mobile app for communicating with people. So it's like a lot of these upgrades, but still some of the quality of life stuff that you don't find on consoles that are like standard now.
Yeah.
That have been standard for a while.
I like the curvature on the dock. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think the dock has like an LED screen or like an LED light up icon rather. So it is cool. And maybe it's for people that they've had their day one Switch for so long since it launched. They want to upgrade. There you go. Or if you haven't jumped into one.
Yeah.
But
I think we can all agree, though, of this trailer, the best part is the redhead.
Or the guy in this hallway playing Pokemon for some reason.
Yeah.
As soon as
that was the thing I heard. So I guess we like snuck out of like Iran or whatever. And I guess due to the massive amount of people at the U.S. bases, there were massive Pokemon Go gyms. And so we've left this weird Pokemon vacuum where we just left.
Oh.
And so now there's like all these gyms being defended by like low-level Pokemon, so it's just like fucked up the Pokemon Go
so
economy.
We gotta get on a
there.
plane and go to Iran.
Yes,
and just dominate in Pokemon Go.
Yes,
gotcha. I'll set up the trip. There were some tweets here, kind of explaining the breakdown of what's going on. So yeah, one of them was from Benji Sales, just giving the details on that press release, the $350. We got the next one here. So this is from The Verge. Nintendo has confirmed to The Verge that the new OLED Switch does not have a new CPU or more RAM from previous Nintendo Switch models, so it's the same stock insides. This is a good comparison. So it was showing this last image on the trailer, showing how they have the Switch, the OLED, and then the Switch Lite, and how it mirrors the release of the DS. And so yeah.
Oh.
So you have that wide 3DS XL, you have the 2DS, you have the standard 3DS. It's basically the same kind of lineup, same motto.
That being said, the 3DS, well, it's not the XL, it was the new 3DS.
Oh, with the little like nub?
Well, I think the new,
wasn't that on the
the 3DS XL may have also been a new 3DS.
There was a point where one of them was had more performance. Was it the XL?
Yes. I don't know if it was the XL. I think maybe they made the new 3DS and then they made I can't remember. But I remember being frustrated because Majora's Mask, one of my favorite games on the system, performed worse, and there were certain games like Xenoblade that was not very playable.
Gotcha.
So I'm at least glad that my hardware is still the same as the new hardware. I'm not going to have to upgrade to this new thing just to be able to play something slightly prettier than what I can currently pull off.
That's the thing. If there was an alternate reality where the Switch Pro launched today, it's like they have to make sure that those games are still playable. If it's just a visual upgrade or it performs slightly better, okay. But it has to make sure, like, they don't want to leave that fan base out, which you've mentioned a ton of times before. But it's also maybe the internet and us being nerds, like putting a lot of attention on this, thinking that Nintendo was going to somehow not do what Nintendo does. It's like they don't do these mid-tier upgrades like the big console manufacturers do. They do their own thing.
Well, they did with the new 3DS, but
I guess so. But you're right. It's a little bit more performance. It's playing the same games. Yeah. But I think we're expecting some kind of like PS4 Pro, mid-tier Xbox that was going to be like a Switch equivalent. That was not the case.
By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, the Nintendo 2DS, fun fact, one screen.
Just a little plastic border in front of it?
Yeah, it's a plastic border. The whole thing is a touchscreen.
That makes sense.
But they only check the touch on the bottom. Yeah, because it's cheaper to do it that way.
Oh, is there so how do they control touch not being on the top screen? Is it like a weird
They just
film or
ignore
filter?
it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So you can hack it and have full touch if you want.
probably.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are you interested in this OLED
No.
Switch? Yeah.
I think if I was going to be playing a lot more mobile, then yeah, I'd be all about. I think this for mobile players is fantastic. If you're a new Switch owner, this is the one you want. But if you already have a Switch,
Just keep it rolling. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, so it's interesting. It doesn't I wasn't bummed by it. It would be cool if there was a Switch Pro, but I also wasn't going to go day one and buy it, but I think it's fine. It was on us really for like, you know, expecting something different from Nintendo. And maybe the plan was to actually put out a Switch Pro that had better performance, but because of the pandemic, they just couldn't get the chips you know, secured in time. So, but we talked about how if there is a Switch Pro in the works or a Switch 2, it's going to take some time before this thing comes out because or at least a year and a half, something like that. But yeah, we thought maybe like, okay, perfect timing. They're going to match it with Breath of the Wild 2.
But no, they're matching it with Metroid.
Yeah, that's been getting a lot of footage.
Which is great. So I saw an article that has me so interested. I don't think they're fully sharing what's going on with Dread because they said they designed this game back in like 2004, and they kept saying like the technology wasn't there, the hardware wasn't there, like it couldn't quite do this game. And they said it's finally there. What are they doing with this game? Why couldn't this be done on the GameCube? Why couldn't this be done on the Wii? I don't maybe it's the fact that they've changed up. Now these games play a little bit different after the last 2D Metroid game.
Yeah.
For the 3DS. So that's going to make it a bit more actiony, but I don't see something with this that couldn't be done before. I'm very curious as to what that is.
I had a different take on that because I know we read that it seemed like it was just caught in development hell when they initially were trying to get this because it's had that name for a while too. And it seems like it's just been worked on, canceled. I don't know if it was like we're waiting for the tech to reach us like Starfield. I think it was more of like it just kept falling through for whatever vision, didn't have the right thing that they wanted to, you know, turn this into like a legit Metroid. So I get the vibe that it was just something that never quite like worked. And then they figured out, you know, the right formula for it. But maybe they're trying to do something that's radical that can only be done on the Switch. I don't know what that would be.
I mean, maybe it's just the AI on this enemy that they finally found a way to make something that's truly, truly interesting. Because really, that's all we've seen is this single enemy that I guess can one-hit kill you.
The robot thing where you can't, you can't fight against it until I imagine later on in the game you get some kind of cool weapon that can.
It sounds like some of them you can fight and some of them you can't.
Right.
So...
Which would be a cool like Mr. X thing in Resident Evil 2 where it's like you just got to run out of these situations until you can actually fight them. With the dedicated LAN port on there, that also reminds me that with the Switch, they've been dabbling more in the streaming games where you can stream like, I think Control. I did that a couple times where there was a demo you could stream.
Really?
So I wonder with the dedicated LAN port if they're trying to lean into that more in the next coming years of letting people stream games.
Lulu, why are you licking everything in the house?
That's what she does. Just don't lick the wires there.
Okay.
She found something and she's out of here.
I could definitely see that being a factor for sure.
Although that's still like that's big boy stuff that with all the video game consoles do. That's not what Nintendo does. So if they're gonna do it, it's got to be their own spin on it or take their own time doing it.
And they have to. This guy's just sitting in his entrance hallway. He doesn't want to face his wife and kids.
No.
He wants to play his
he's dealing with some stuff.
His swoled.
Yeah, swollen.
But speaking of streaming, so Microsoft finally pulled the trigger this week. It's been in beta for a long time. xCloud is finally on PC, Mac, and I want to say iPhone now. You can just open it up in a browser.
Yeah, I tried it on PC. What'd you think? I think you tried it a little bit too, right?
Yeah, there was definitely lag. Like, it looked really good. But definitely if I have the option of playing this local, I will 100% play it local.
Yeah.
But if I want to dip my toe in something, it doesn't take very long to launch a game. So if I just want to try something, I will use this all the time. I imagine the example game they give is Sea of Thieves, and I see this being the perfect Sea of Thieves vehicle for a lot of people.
Yeah, so I have Sea of Thieves on the PC, and I tried streaming it as well just to see how it looks, and they definitely bring down the quality of the game.
Sure.
And there's a little bit of lag. It's less noticeable in Sea of Thieves versus, like, say, something like... You're right.
Right on the testicles.
Okay. She has a pinpoint accuracy.
Yes.
Say something like Forza where it's like that lag really matters. But with Sea of Thieves, I thought it was fine. It's just like a downgrade to the quality.
Sure.
But
right in the ear. That being
you can
said,
set her down.
So
too,
now
so
you see it now. So hi, sweetie.
Yeah, I'll just set her down and let her on her way.
I'd previously played Sea of Thieves on my older computer, which was it's like a half generation behind, and I thought Sea of Thieves looked pretty okay. But now I'm playing on my new computer where everything's on max. God, that game is a jaw dropper.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful, especially when you get onto the ocean. You have the crazy waves, which the physics, or I don't know how it works the way that it does, but it looks beautiful, and it's just like not like a stock kind of repeating thing. It seems like it's more natural with how the waves work.
Yeah,
but just the weather and how vivid everything is, it works really well. Yeah. But you're right, where they must have, I don't know if that was day one it looked that beautiful, or just they started to kind of crack it over time.
I bet it was day one, but I just don't know. God, it's pretty, and that intro, like, it makes me sad you haven't played the intro, because it's like it's not much. It's just I think it's partially it's the music. The music just really, like, there's a point where you finally get out in the ocean, the music's just like, all right, you better get ready, get some hankies, because we're gonna swell here, bud. And it just gets going, and it's very epic, and I need to play more. I finished that, and I haven't played anything since, but
yeah.
Man, pretty ass game. I could see totally playing that in the cloud.
Yeah, that's one that I think works well. With xCloud, I feel like they're super close. They're there. They just needed maybe 2-3 years, 5 years. I think they can really perfect it. But also, I wonder if no matter what, they're always bottlenecked by the internet infrastructure being so slow and like not really able to handle this kind of thing. So maybe there needs to be some kind of incredible upgrade. Like using satellite stuff, like Elon Musk talks about using, but maybe they can nail it where just on your normal lines you can figure it out, or wirelessly you can do it. I haven't tried one of these using my data connection. I don't want to, but I don't know if that's any better using like a mobile phone.
It's going to be weird because like 5G could potentially be faster than Wi-Fi, right?
Right.
But it also has more like misfires or dropped packets, so it's got sort of its own series of problems that we haven't quite conquered yet. Maybe 6G will fix that. Yeah. And then I'll get cancer, but it's
it's a risk I'm willing to take if I can get.
But that being said, I told my coworker in IT today that we need to hurry up our move to fiber so I can just play Halo on my lunch breaks.
That'd be dope. Especially with the newer Halo going free to play. If you can like stream it, jump in quickly, and you're out, like just like Fortnite, like the ease of jumping into a Fortnite match, that'd be dope.
I bet we can. Although that being said, Halo with like the slightest delay would be.
That's the thing. It's not going to work for a lot of these games. If it's not pinpoint, then it just doesn't work the same. But I think they're close. It's just they need a bit more time in the oven, but they're close.
I feel like the aim stick and every game I played with like aiming felt a little floaty. So it's like you stop and then it keeps going for a second. Yeah. And that just hurt. I can take the second to start. It's the second to stop that really hurts.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just wanted to show you some of the tweets I found about the Switch OLED. Here's one with Vin Diesel.
You don't need a significant hard up. Oh my God.
Yeah, when you got family. And this one was, whoops, I dropped my monster Nintendo Switch OLED that I use for my Magnum Nintendo Switch dock.
Oh my God. That's a tier 3. That is 3 levels deep meme right there. Oh man.
Pretty dope.
Wow.
Pretty dope.
I hope that person's proud of themselves.
But yeah, we also had, speaking of Xbox, they put out this cool promotional thing for having Xbox All Access. And it's just this cool like 90s throwback. Are you familiar with the band All For One?
Not currently. me.
Okay, so this is the music video they put out.
Oh boy. Well, I remember the song, I swear.
Yeah, there you go. So it's that, and it's the actual group, All For One, singing the song too. But this time themed about Xbox All Access. But yeah, they put this out, and then a bunch of like 90s related stuff that they sent to different influencers. And like this on a CD and stuff, they just really leaned into it. But I thought it was pretty dope.
I do remember seeing like an article, I think it was on like Kotaku or something. It was like, this is a shockingly black commercial. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I haven't seen it. And I want to go with maybe? I don't know.
Not a white person in sight.
Is that guy in the background not white?
I don't know.
And if he's not, I'm sorry for saying that.
Wait for the end where they list who's white and who's not.
Yeah, the guy with the neck beard.
Oh, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're all black. I could be wrong. But yeah, it's dope. Got that going. I did pull up. So yeah, this is the original song, and it's the same group. And they're super
so
young.
Oh my god, have you even gone through puberty yet? This is ridiculous.
I'm sure Twitch will take it down, but yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome.
Wow.
They've been doing the same damn thing. It's awesome.
Do you remember the man, it was like way back in the beginning days of Xbox. Do you remember the Catch That Tiger commercial?
Catch That Tiger. Is it an Xbox commercial?
Yeah, I think it's their best commercial they've ever done. Still to this day, it got banned.
For what?
There you go.
The ad stand off?
Yeah, so
okay.
I don't think you'll get taken down for the music, but yeah, this got banned, and it's the best commercial they've ever done.
It's like a Guy Ritchie kind of commercial.
Something like that.
I get those vibes already.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, I do remember this. I guess because of the gun thing. Yeah, I get that. Because all it takes is one cop to see this and start shooting everybody, basically. But it's a cool idea.
God, the audio design on that opening part. I mean,
there's a scene in The Office that's also like this too. And where's the kid who's like, oh, I have a laser shield, so no, you didn't get me. And they just like change the rules. On the motorcycle.
The fucking motor.
Where's that tiger? There's that tiger.
That's pretty dope.
God damn. Such a good commercial.
Yeah, I remember that, but I totally forgot.
Now, Dying Light keeps popping up, so they did another thing this week. The Stay Human.
See, I've been kind of not staying away, but just like putting it on hold until I get to play this thing. But what did they reveal?
Not much. They talked a little bit more about the monsters. It sounds like the one with the tree coming out of his back is going to be fucking terrifying.
I'm sorry, a tree coming out of his back?
Yeah, he's got like that weird, like, they're like wings, but they're not.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Which you can skip him. I guess if you make certain decisions, you never see him.
Wow.
And they show the initial mission. They actually did it. I don't know if I call it a spoiler, but it was a decent showing of a full mission where they show the mechanic of trying to stay human. I guess part of it is so. This makes a lot of sense, but it's the UV rays, which are, you get in sun rays.
Yeah.
So being in the sun, being in those UV rays keeps you human. So they're on this mission, and they try and find you a bracelet so you can tell how far you've turned, and they slap it on, and it's like, oh, you're turning now. So you're like, fuck, gotta get out the building. And it was a pretty cool chase sequence. And they're kind of showing how, yes, stealth is a route or full-on action is a route, whichever you want to do.
This game is looking really good.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
There was a time where we didn't know what was going on. They were delaying stuff where it's like, this could go either way, but I think it's on the right track.
I think we thought it was in development hell, or at least I did.
Yeah, I got the same vibes.
Yeah, this is the area they're showing. This is you trying to get to the bracelet.
And maybe now they can finally put everyone on board of development and like stop making all the different side stuff for the last Dying Light. Like maybe they could get the whole team on board.
Yeah. But Yeah, I'm excited. I want to say they announced probably another DLC for the first Dying Light. Which
Oh, sure.
I don't even know how old that game is now, how long it's been supported.
Yeah, that launched the first year the PS4 launched. I remember that because I bought it. That was like one of the first big games that came out after that holiday season of the PS4.
Wow.
So,
That's
7 years
insane.
now, 8 years.
That is why my old computer could still run it then. Because I remember being able to run it at max, and it still looked gorgeous to this day. God, these games are stupid pretty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I didn't watch this, so I'm very excited.
Yeah.
And that's this holiday season. I want to say October, but I don't remember for sure.
I think it's October. It's coming up soon. October is going to be...
December 7th. So I got a little bit
the
more
next
leeway.
2 months. This month's not quite there, but the next 2 months are packed, especially September.
I'd say, September on...
I mean, even next month's got quite a few bangers.
Or even the newest Forza. I'm super stoked for that. I jumped into Forza through Game Pass. I was playing it quite a bit over the weekend, and I just forgot how fun it is. And I was just driving around, having a blast. And then as soon as I was done, I Googled steering wheel accessories. I want to get one of those for the PC and just like have a little racing setup.
Being said, that just makes me want to play more. It's weird because it's not a driving game, but it makes me think of, what's that game from like EA or Ubisoft where it's just 1,000 people rolling down a hill on bicycles?
Oh, yeah. It's
I don't know
not
what it's
Sprint.
called.
It's like a one-word deal.
I want to play that
Rift
game.
Yeah.
Just do that with Forza. Give us 1,000 cars, just driving across the country.
It's maybe
like
possible.
The Crew.
Like the Crew, yeah. With the power of the cloud, maybe they can do that.
That'd be fun.
Kevin, do you remember the Terminator game that came out not too long ago?
Yeah, made by the guys that made that terrible Rambo game.
Yes, which
do
I
you
have
remember
finished.
that Rambo game?
Yeah, let's move to that first. I have it ready to go. Actually.
Oh, the hottest pile of garbage you ever did see. How?
Yeah, it's Tehran Dev or Studio.
And for the one person watching, you got to remember, this game was on the 360, not the Xbox.
Yeah, they came to Switch
360.
eventually too.
Jesus Christ, just looks like...
Yeah, it's like comically bad, and the actual gameplay is like a rail shooter kind of thing. So like
That's right.
so it's pretty rough. So somehow this dev has been able to secure the rights to like some big properties. So they made this
Terminator somehow.
and then
after
the
this.
next one was Terminator.
I hear this one wasn't the worst.
Yeah, so it's weird. It has a really low Metacritic, but then a higher user rating. So people that actually played or are fans, I guess, dug it. I love the Terminator series, but this game, the reviews turned me off, so I never really gave it a chance.
What is this sound effect for this gun?
It's a classic laser sound. Yeah, it doesn't have to make sense. It's just the Terminator laser.
God, that's very unsatisfying.
It looks pretty like a pretty generic shooter when I look at it. So hopefully the mechanics hold up and it's not like glitchy or buggy. But apparently it wasn't nothing to write home about. Although there is a fan base that really loves it, so maybe one day I'll try it. But so that was a couple years ago. Then we have what was announced today. That same studio
Detroit.
got the rights to a RoboCop game.
Escalated to new heights.
So it's called
Authorities are
RoboCop Rogue City.
OCP insists
intro.
the situation is
It's more of a CG
But the
like showing
question
off.
remains, who
They just got the
or
rights to
what
do it, so
will send these crooks on the run
made this trailer.
and
This
restore
better say
all
at some
citizens
point I'd buy that for $1 or I'd quit life.
You know what? RoboCop the original has. I don't remember enough of it. I need to go back and watch it. I remember him getting shot up a million times in his first like death scene or whatever.
It's definitely bad. I like his
that's all I
gun.
get.
His gun is pretty cool.
So 2023.
Yeah. I would honestly say you don't need to watch it.
I feel like a lot of people would disagree with you. That's the one that is really coveted. People love RoboCop. At least the first one for sure. But now I want to go watch RoboCop. I'm going to do it.
This reminds me, did I tell you I finally watched the original Dread with Stallone?
Did you? I think as a kid I watched bits and parts of it, but does it hold up?
It's fantastic. I know it's historically hated. I'm sure it's a bad movie, but I had a lot of fun. And in certain ways, it's got a lot of accuracies to the comic. They bring up the what's it called? Like Cursed Earth. So he actually goes outside the city and has to deal with that. And I want to say there was a psyker out there, but I could be wrong. But he also has his helmet off for most of the film, which Dredd would never do.
Gotcha.
I don't know. It may be a terrible Judge Dredd movie, but it is a fun action adventure movie.
I gotta try it. I always think of the remake or reboot that happened with
That's-
Carl Urban, and that one's so good.
I watched them back to back, and I'm like, and this one, honestly, I really like this film. But then you watch the one with Carl Urban, and
Does it have a codpiece?
goddamn, it's good. Also, I want to
Holy
know
crud.
what's going on with the pauldrons. I think that's what they're called on their shoulders. I don't know what you have to do to get like the big eagle pauldron, or why some people have no pauldrons. What's
see.
the thing behind the pauldrons?
Almost like a rank, like a lieutenant, captain, that kind of thing.
could be.
And his is all gold and everything. I guess they're all gold, but
Yeah.
that must be what's going on. But yeah, it's a huge comic, so I'm sure that by reading it, you can figure it out. Then there's that one weird, I always see the image of it, but it's like a dread that's like a skeleton that just looks really dope. But I've just seen images of that. But yeah, I've never actually sat down and watched it. Maybe.
Oh
I will.
yeah, and he's in it for some reason. What's his face?
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Deuce Bigelow.
Yeah, Deuce Bigelow's in it. He has no name. Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
And then also these cops get to just decide who they kill, and like they just, serve justice in their eyes. Like they have
Yeah.
that. It's interesting.
That's kind of the whole concept. Which also, I guess, part of the point is that this is a terrible idea. I guess that's part of the point of the
Right.
comic.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I gotta watch this.
Yeah.
Give me 2 movies.
It's
to go
dope,
about.
but you have to at least clear 2 hours afterwards to watch the new one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can't just watch that one.
Yes.
But yeah, so let's give him that. After this one, let's give him Dread, and also I take it back. Let's give Dread to the guys that made Warhammer 40K Space Marine.
Oh, not the new one with the terrible name.
There's 1,000 Warhammer games.
But there's
at
that
this
new
point.
shooter that came out that people are digging in that Warhammer universe. It's like, not Vermintide, but it's that shooter
No, what was it called though?
one. I forget, but that one.
Necromunda.
Necromunda. Yeah, I hate that name, but
I should play it. I hear it's
I want to play it too.
passable. Like there's definitely. It sounds like from watching a little bit of streamers, like you're not gonna like all of this game. There are gonna be parts of this game that you're gonna have to put up with
Sure.
to play the game. But
Yeah, I'm down with that. It looks like a sort of, not a knockoff, but like something sort of similar to Doom.
Yeah.
Just maybe not as fleshed out, but it looks beautiful. It looks like it's really fun.
yeah, it's like an unpolished Doom.
Unpolished turd. Gavin, we got this. Next one here is some rumors. We got the Medium developer. Well, maybe not rumor. The Medium developer is now creating games with Silent Hill publisher Konami. And the wonder is, it seems like the exact thing they should do would be Silent Hill with the experience they did working on the Medium. But there's a
at the same time, fucking up.
yeah, because I think we were both kind of sour on the Medium. I didn't finish it, so I don't know if it improved over time. But
I got very bored extremely fast.
that was my vibe too. But the people that online that I see have finished it, they really dig it. So there must be something there.
Sure.
And there was that cool dual rendering tech going on. It was pretty interesting. So here's a little blurb here from from PCGamer.com. It was Natalie Clayton with the article. Horror developer Blooper Team reignited speculation that it is working on a revival of Silent Hill after announcing it had entered a strategic cooperation agreement with publisher Konami earlier today. This is from a couple days ago, 7 days ago. It seems like they haven't confirmed which one it's going to be, what they're going to work on. But it seems like the most likely scenario would be Silent Hill, given the Medium stuff. Maybe they could kill it. I think if they... With Silent Hill, it's not really as actiony as, say, like a Resident Evil, but there is those action elements. It's more just like really twisted, messed up, more puzzly. And if they can nail that, then it could be cool.
It's the vibe.
It's the vibe. The fog.
I will say the vibe in Silent Hill. So I'm not a huge Silent Hill fan. I haven't played any of them.
Yeah.
But there was, back in college, we used to play video game. Like someone would just be on the couch playing a video game, and we just everyone would come over and watch. I remember we had a dev kit Xbox. I don't know if this is legal, so I hope it's fine. No one's watching this.
The statute of limitations.
So it was a dev kit Xbox, and we got to play an early build of Silent Hill: The Room, which had come out. This game was out, but we were playing a dev version of it that was pretty early on.
Wow.
And well, not early on. The game was complete, so that would have been an alpha.
Okay.
But massive amounts of music and sound effects were missing. A lot of sound effects were farts. Just things were just wrong and
sounds like the
replaced
version to
with
play.
stupid shit. But the vibes in this game were so strong that we were all super sucked in and just absolutely into this thing.
Is that 4, The Room?
I don't know.
I feel like people really dug 4. I think it's after that when it kind of falls apart a little bit.
I mean, this game was falling apart.
Oh, okay.
Like the story was
it the fart sound?
Stupid beyond all belief, and it kind of worked because it leaned into it so hard. Like it's about like half of the story is trying to find the placenta so you can murder the child.
Makes sense.
Because you can't do it without the placenta. And then you have like this battle to death in this giant pool of blood
with the placenta,
with like scissors to cut the cord. And you're just like, yep, I'm in. Yeah. Sweet. Let's go.
Yeah, I will go down the rabbit hole sometimes of all these, just like you will, like the endings of games. I never do that, but with Silent Hill, there's always like 4 different endings in each game.
Oh.
So sometimes I'll go over and watch those.
You know, I think I watched the full Game Grumps of whichever one was on the Wii. And I think it was a remake of an original one.
Gotcha.
And so it like in between like missions, you're in a psychologist's office and you're answering questions.
Oh, okay.
And the game wraps itself around your answers and changes. So like, what's your biggest fear? What's the color of your childhood home? And it'll change around that. And that was so cool. And then the ending is, God, it hurts. It was
bad.
No, it was good.
Oh, okay.
I think it would suck if I already knew, if I'd played the original and I knew the ending coming in, because it was a remake / remix of the original.
Gotcha.
But man, that if you've never seen the original's twist, that's a solid twist.
Okay.
It was.
I know Until Dawn does something like that where there is another like mid-level area where a psychiatrist, somebody will talk to you.
Oh,
and, like, ask you various stuff.
The creepy guy. Yeah.
Who's a legit actor, forget his
Yes.
name. But he's always that guy in every movie, pretty much. But yeah,
I
this
wonder,
is one.
is that the guy who did the Thriller voice?
No, you're thinking of Vincent Price.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But sort of, he could, pull off maybe a weird, creepy Vincent Price.
Yeah, these games got vibe. Also, that's Loki right there. We're looking at Loki.
That's pretty close to him. Yeah, I don't remember, because with Silent Hill 2, I think I've played
these fuckers.
The weird flies. I played it a bunch as a kid, but I always played like the first 2 levels with the fog in the main city and never got past that. And I know there's more than that. But we're looking at the room, I guess.
Yeah, you have to get back to the room too, and the room is getting like more and more cursed as the game goes on, and that's freaky. I don't know, this game was fucked.
I like that though. I like these super weird games, which also made sense with Kojima possibly taking over Silent Hill because he's so weird already. So you add the horror elements to it, it would fucking knock your socks off. So that's a bummer that never happened. But
yeah,
I do have a part of my brain that's always interested in this style of gameplay.
Yeah,
and this whole weird universe.
That being said, we need to. I don't. Have you ever played the Alan Wake games?
No, I need to. I love Control and Control side to them, and they're gonna do that more now going in the future. So I need to play them. I think I own American Nightmare.
Is that
which
2?
is like that's the DLC I think for 2.
Oh, didn't it have really good DLC?
That's the one that people always talk about, but I also don't know if it's like weird to jump into that one first, and it's all the thing.
That being said, that's my new mission because Deathloop is coming out in 2 months.
Yeah.
So I have 2 months to beat every single Arcane game, including the DLCs.
Okay.
So I beat Dishonored 1. I beat Prey. I'm partway through one DLC in Dishonored 1. So that means I have the second DLC, finishing the first DLC. I need to beat Dishonored 2, Death of the Outsider, and then the DLC for Prey.
What was the DLC for Prey? Because I know they changed you can almost play the game a different way. I know there's that mode or whatever.
It's almost like a roguelite, but also so it's like you're reliving the same scenario over, and I feel like it was they were like dipping their toe into, I think it's called Moon Crash. That's the top one.
Gotcha.
So yeah, why the hell is no one talking about this? If you've actually beaten it, like, so it's like you have to figure out the puzzle that is you're on the moon, which is a completely different place than you were on the first one. The first one was on a space station, which again, Prey is amazing. One of my favorite games of all time. But I guess so you start the simulation, you pick one of the characters, and you go out and you have to escape. You're like, okay, so I figure out how to escape. And then you, it's like, all right, so you escaped with one, then you try and escape with another one. And then if it basically you beat it by figuring out a way to, if you escape one way, like let's say you take an escape pod, no one else can use that in the simulation. So you have to find a way using abilities of one and like keys of another to get everyone off of the space station. That's how you beat it. But also, if you beat it and you continue the simulation, as time goes on, basically how long you take, like the chaos meter gets bigger. So more enemies, more danger. So you really kind of need to speed run this son of a bitch. But also, if you take supplies, the first person to take supplies, the other people don't have that supplies.
Interesting.
So it's this really cool balance. And like I do remember seeing a streamer beating it, and like you could tell by the end their heart was just up in their throat.
That seems like, as you're describing, there's a lot of the bones or the ideas that goes into Deathloop, right?
I think that's exactly it. I think
awesome.
This was their experiment, and they said, okay, this works. Deathloop. Let's do it.
Really cool. Yeah, I own this game, and I need to actually give it a shot because I played the first 2 hours, something about it.
That being said, it's super long.
Gotcha.
It is not short.
Okay. But how fondly you talk about it, how the internet talks about it, and it kind of got forgotten about or just didn't gain that much attention. But yeah, people love it that have played it.
That's
on my list.
You basically know everyone on this, unlike so I compare it to BioShock. It's very BioShocky, but it's more open world. But the other thing is like you're gonna keep seeing the same in BioShock. Like when you're in an area, you see the same dev diaries or whatever, like the audio logs over in that area. But this, you're gonna keep seeing the same diaries of the same people over and over again. And then you really know everyone on the space station. So like at the point when you finally see these people's like Dungeons and Dragons game, and you get to see their character cards that they've been talking about in all these diaries, it's like, oh, this is super sad.
I see.
Yeah.
Yep. That's on my list. Got to play it.
Yep. So I'm going to beat all those 2 months. That's what I got.
Well, you got 2 months there.
I gotta fucking hurry.
At least you have what the majority you already went through, but the majority of like Dishonored 2, some DLC you got to get going through.
Yeah.
Prey DLC.
Prey is probably the longest one in the bunch.
Gotcha.
But
okay, we got our next story here. This is from, and Lulu is honking away on her little toy. So this is reported on from Nibel on Twitter, but it was from Jason Schreier originally. A recent Grand Theft Auto 6 leak by Tom Henderson has been corroborated by Jason Schreier of Bloomberg News. So here's some bullet points.
Remind me again, was Bloomberg talking about the Switch Plus with the enhanced hardware?
They were.
Huh.
Yes.
Huh, Bloomberg.
Hey, they get stuff wrong sometimes, or stuff changes, but yeah, so take it with a grain of salt. We've heard stuff about Grand Theft Auto that, didn't end up being true for sure. But this one, the current rumor mill is set in modern day, evolving map, and then parentheses Vice City. I'm not sure what that means in relation to Vice City.
Ooh, what if? Hear me out. So part of it takes back in the time of Vice City, and part of it's in modern day, and things you do in the past affect the future. That would be a huge game to do that with.
That'd
and
be cool.
Also, Rockstar is probably the only people on planet Earth with the budget.
Now, I wonder if all this, like, I think as they go forward, the single player, as dope as it is and as much money as they throw at it, it's all kind of a means to get to the multiplayer now, because that makes so much money for them. Are they going to spend the time doing this back and forth through time, single player, when at the end of the day, the multiplayer is what's going to keep making money, keep printing money?
I think they do still put it in the single player because everyone does play the single player. Like it's still the biggest, in my opinion, it's the biggest selling point. Red Dead, we didn't play that for the multiplayer.
No, and that still had multiplayer, and I think it was successful, but people still go back to Grand Theft Auto Online. But yeah, it's like different strokes kind of thing. But for me, it's always a single player that called out to me. But we live in a world now where that multiplayer is so successful, where it's like you got to wonder how much are they going to want to put, as far as time, resources into the single player. But they always kill it with the single player. They always get like A-list actors to be in stuff. So I'm sure it's going to be the same thing. But I do wonder about that. So multiple protagonists. We've heard that for a long time. I don't know if they actually do it. Well,
Well, they did that with
scratch
the
that.
last Grand Theft
They did
Auto.
that with the, but yeah,
And that
you're
was
right.
good.
You're right. Very true. I guess I'm thinking of character creator. That we always hear about something like that, or even like a female protagonist, which is still somehow insane for Grand Theft Auto. Maybe they switch it up even more. Besides the 3 dudes, we'll see. Expected around 2024 to 2025. So that's what, a good 4 years from now. We're in 2021, 5 years ish. That makes sense. I wouldn't go any sooner than that because they're going to take a lot of time. Red Dead 2 just came out, what, 2 years ago? Not that long ago?
It still blows my mind that like they spend so much time and so much money on these games, and then they make it back in like quadruplicate in the first hour.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
this is still one of those games that still tops the charts every week just for the online.
For over a decade. Yeah. Yeah. And they're able to release it, which I think they still haven't released the current gen version, you know, for like PS5, but they're going to of Grand Theft Auto 5. So it's like they're just going to keep releasing it, upgrade it a little bit, and keep printing money, keep people on the online part of it. So it's going to do well. And you're right. They make their money instantly. So
That's going to be weird. I wonder if now that's part of the development cycle where you make your textures for current gen and then future. I
Yeah.
bet that's totally a thing.
I wonder if it's just the tools. Are they scalable? And maybe they are now going forward with like UE5 and stuff like that.
Generally, that's kind of how they work. Is like you make your high res model and your high res textures, and then you scale it back.
Oh,
so
sure.
yeah, I assume now it's rather than just throwing that away, now you save it and say,
you
hey,
can
this
use it.
is for later. Yeah,
That makes
which is
sense.
going to eat up just gobs of hard drive space, just insane amount of hard drive.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
But I think it's going to be worth it now if you can just resell the son of a bitch a couple of years later.
I think that's a plan. Yeah. Speaking of UE5, here's the next one. Gears of War Studio to show off Unreal Engine 5 demo.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Yes, this is coming soon. This was reported July 2nd, but it's tied to a GDC talk they're going to do pretty soon. So this is from IGN.
So this lady's name is amazing. Adele Ankers.
Adele Anchors of IGN, yes.
That's pretty
dope.
that's a cool name.
So Gears of War Studio, the coalition, will be showcasing a new Unreal Engine 5 technical demo at the Game Developers Conference this month. VGC spotted the scheduling of the hour-long presentation in the GDC session viewer. So this is, if I'm scrolling down here, July 20th at 1:20 p.m. So we got, can't see my date here, but what, the 15-ish days, 14 days if I can do math. So pretty soon, end of the month. I don't know exactly what they're going to show. So they do detail a little bit. So the talk will cover the learnings the team had while creating nanite resolution assets and incorporating them into a fully real-time lighting scenario with Lumen virtual shadow maps. Whatever they show, I'm going to eat it up because just seeing any little taste of UE5, you know, with the lens of like through
Sure.
Gears of War, it's going to be nuts, and I can't wait.
I don't think there are many people on the planet more versed in Unreal than the coalition.
Yeah, I think they are experts at it. And this branches off from originally being an Unreal property, right?
Yes, yeah, they worked. I think a lot of them worked at Unreal before somehow they got bought by Xbox. I still don't even know how that happened, but yeah, this is going to be the one to watch.
Yeah. And I think we're going to get, you know, more of, well, now we have developers actually working on this stuff. So I'm hoping it doesn't take a crazy long time to see this stuff come to fruition, but at least 2-3 years or something like that.
It's tough to say. I still think this is currently going to be challenging for this generation. You even look at some of these demos you see of people playing on their RTX 3090s, and they're still struggling to keep a 30 frames per second.
That's true, but I wonder if once it's calibrated and made efficient, and they've done everything else under the hood to make sure it works on especially on consoles where everything's, you know, they can account for all these different hardware pieces. It's not like something that's interchangeable. Maybe it's a bit more efficient, but you're right. I'm not sure.
But here's my concern: will this work on the Series S?
I don't know. I don't know. It'll let you stream it. There you go.
Right, and I think that's the thing. It does have the strength of Series S. Also has a solid state drive, these super fast solid state drives, which it sounds like with the new Windows update as well, that's going to bring some of the direct access. So now your GPU can skip your CPU and just load it.
I watched the Linus where he talked about that.
Yeah, that's very exciting. Though speaking of showcases, coming up this week, I guess, is it Sony is doing
they are
a state of play, and I guess they're going to be doing a deep dive on
your game.
My game, which I kind of want to avoid it, but at the same
That's
time,
how I feel when I saw this. Is like, I've seen enough Deathloop, and it's not like a negative. It's just I'm ready to play it.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's maybe smart because it promotes this game more. And maybe this is one they really don't want this to fly under the radar. And a lot of those games from Arcane do. So I think they really need to, just pump up the promotion on this as much as they can. But you're right.
I think I did ruin. I wish I discovered it. So last time we found out that you get powers by defeating bosses, and then basically you have to defeat them all at least once, so you have enough powers to defeat them all in one run. And I wish I'd kind of discovered that for myself. I think that would have been a magical revelation. So I may kind of let it go. Or the fact that like there's a 3-day cycle and things change and you can affect that timeline. But that being said, it sounds like what they're doing this time, what they kind of said is they're going to do a run through a mission, stealth, and then guns blazing. Which that sounds like it would be fun as hell to watch.
Right. Or knowing me, I try and go stealth and something goes wrong and I just have to murder everybody.
But
which
that's
I'm
the
going to murder
in my opinion, stealth should be. You murder everyone until enough people are dead that you can go back to being stealth.
There you go. Yeah, it's always, you bring up a good point where you want to know at least enough to know you have something to bite on with the game.
Yeah.
But when they're so weird like this, they kind of have to, at least maybe on their end, promotion-wise, they feel like they have to explain it enough for general Joe Schmoes to understand it and buy it. At the same time, it pulls away from the mystery and what's intriguing about the game the more you know about it. So it's this weird give and take. I don't know how you do that, because games like Control, I think it's sold okay, but it's so weird that I think people just go, unless you don't sit them down and explain it to them, they go, I'm out.
Right.
So what do you do?
Well, and even I was grumpy at Control at the first because I'm like, this game is taking itself way too seriously.
How
But
dare you?
that's what the game is. It takes itself seriously.
It doesn't though. If you play the game more, like as you go through it, you read the weird like documents, which okay, it's nerdy. You have to go and read those, but they have all these like super weird aspects to what's going on and weird like haunted objects that are silly, and there is silliness in there. Okay, but I get your vibe at first, but it does become where like they understand the tone of the world that they built. But no, I love it, so I will not stand for any kind of back talk against Control.
I hear this game is amazing. It won awards. It's one of those games where people that play it later are just like, why did I not play this sooner?
We'll wife swap.
So why have I not played this sooner?
We'll wife swap. I'll play Prey if you finish Control.
No, you play Wonder Song. If I'm going to game swap, I will force you to play that fucking game.
Okay. And that's a game I want to play. I just keep forgetting to do it. And I
it is
jerk around on Zelda. And
I don't know how I didn't play it during the pandemic, because that game is pure bottled fucking joy. It is just condensed joy.
I played Last of Us 2 during the pandemic, so I think I just wanted to like sulk in it more.
No, I played Dishonored because I'm like, hey, you know what would be great with this pandemic? More pandemic.
More rats. That could help out, I guess.
I do think, and I saw the start of an article, but it's just like that game hit differently during a pandemic.
Sure. Just
it
like
really did.
Last of Us 2 is like, 30 years after a pandemic that wipes the earth clean. But yeah, it's weird to have those games release or to seek them out when you're experiencing something that's similar to it in the real world. Yeah. I don't know what that is. We're just trying to cope or whatever.
The theory is that it's you practicing having emotions.
Sure. Yeah. Just like me in the mirror, trying to replicate what I see people do.
Well, it's just being emotionally ready for it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
cool, Gavin. Well, that's what I have for you today. We're about a solid hour here. We can end it unless you want to throw some Hail Marys in there.
I think where's my phone?
Lilu might have grabbed it from you.
You eat it, Lilu?
Did it fall on the couch?
It's,
Maybe you're confusing it for your nuts and it's in the middle.
That's my square.
Hey, I don't know.
Thin nuts.
That's what I heard.
There it is.
Oh, okay. Well, close enough.
I think I got most of the good stuff. All right, so Boomerang X, Severed Steel. One thing I gotta say, and I'm super appreciated, the pandemic is kind of coming to a close. Ladies and gentlemen, in-person fighting game tournaments are back. Xanadu is happening right this second.
Whoa.
We got some Smash Brothers.
What's Xanadu?
Xanadu, it's a fighting game tournament. You can, I think it's on the front page of Twitch right now, but it's just a big fighting game tournament for Smash. I think this is it.
Twitter page?
Sure.
Xanadu Games?
Guys, set up in the venue.
Yeah, so they are making people wear masks, but
It's something at least.
yeah, this man is way overly.
He's ready to go.
Jesus Christ. That guy's ready to rewire my basement with all the spiders.
So where is this at? Where in the country?
I don't know, but they've got, you know, how they have the CRTs because they have slightly faster response time.
Oh.
But yeah, in-person fighting games. It's like they're my favorite thing. I love fighting game tournaments.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's finally starting to come back.
Yeah, so it's coming back.
Do you think if one comes to Northwest, you'll try and participate or be there?
I would probably be what's called a filthy casual.
Sure.
And watch.
You know what? There's PAX, which tickets went on sale last week.
Buddy, that smell I still haven't gotten out of from when I went in 2007.
We'll see. I was kind of excited for it. I saw I got a message from my phone. It's like, oh, you can buy tickets in 30 minutes. Cool. Then that's when my landlord told us about like us having to basically leave our house. So I was like,
speaking
crap.
of, are you still going to do the Tough Mudder, which is in 2 months?
Yeah, I'm still down.
Okay.
I've been training.
Lightly. Okay, sure. I have not. So
got 2 months.
Just a couple of games to bring it up. So I saw this one tonight. It's called I think it's called Bat-Barian.
Okay.
Bat-Arian.
Bat-Barian. I'm Googling that.
No, that looks. Oh, wait. Hold on. Click away. I think it was the second video. Bat-Barian.
A Testament of the Primordials review.
Oh, there's a review for it? I don't want a review. I just want
I'll
footage
just,
of
as
it.
long as I get the name, I can. Bat-Barian.
But this looks like an old schooly.
Is this a Bible game?
Kind of fun. It's kind of bullet helly. Yeah, I think this is coming out soon.
Nintendo Switch and PC.
Yeah, it looks like it could be fun. But
Oh,
very
okay.
old school.
Oh yeah.
You're a barbarian with a bat. And
Nice. I love I'm a sucker for like the, pixel art kind of stuff.
I guess from what people have said that have played like a demo for it is like the dialogue is relentlessly funny.
Oh, nice.
So this looks like it could be a fun kind of thing.
Ooh,
but
it's
it
pretty
looks like
too.
it looks like somebody mixed a bullet hell with a ultra hard platformer with a Metroidvania with a brawler.
Jesus.
So good luck.
Yeah. Well, Returnal makes me want to kill myself. So I can't imagine I'm gonna have fun with this, but
probably pretty similar.
yeah.
But also games coming out in July. Well, the next 2 months, so not this month, but the next 2 months are going to be absolute packed with bangers from. We have 12 Minutes is coming out.
Oh, you know what? That
soon.
one, I'm not sure if I'm sold on it, but
I mean, I love my time loop games.
yeah, I hear
And
you.
it's got Defoe. It's got Defoe.
It has a crazy cast of actual actors in it, but
Yeah,
I want to
all
hear
three of
reviews, or if you play it, I want to see like what your experience is in it. But I don't know if
Sure.
I have the most interest in it.
But this month we have 2 games that I'm pretty excited for. So it's going to be hard to beat all those games. But we have Death's Door coming out on the 20th.
Death's Door.
That's
Have we
from
looked this up before?
the
That name
guys
sounds
that made
familiar.
Titan Souls.
Okay.
It's got this fun trailer. It's kind of cute. You're like, I think you're crows, and there are souls that have avoided death.
Oh, you know what? Was this showcased at something during E3? I think I did watch a demo of
Possibly
this.
Devolver Digital.
Oh, okay.
I think Devolver's doing this
Yes.
one. But yeah, this is the Titan Soul devs.
It's very cute.
It's now in 3D. It's got a cool hook shot. It's but now it's not just bosses only. It's bosses and you have regular
okay.
combat.
Which I like that idea of the bosses only, but also I don't mind,
Right.
combat in between too.
And I love this art style. It's very fun.
It's really cool.
The other one that I'm very excited for, which I'm gonna give a shot. I don't think I'm gonna like it in the end, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Chernobyl Light.
Oh, I'm interested in that too.
I have the spelling for you if you want.
I'm gonna let Google figure it out for me, Kevin.
All right.
I'm a caveman.
Apparently, I mean, to be fair, you can just play this game right now if you want to. It's in early access and
Okay,
has
on
been
PC.
for a while. But it's gorgeous looking. It sounds like it sounds like its strength is its cool narrative. So it's survivally. You got to keep the people that you've rescued alive. But you're trying to save your family in this weird, twisted, science fiction-y Chernobyl.
Yeah, it's like little Half-Life vibes to it.
Oh, Half-Life. It's got a little.
You know what? I jumped into Half-Life 2 again over the weekend and
Did you?
love that game. But this looks really cool.
Looks
Oh, you got the fear, disappearing characters in front of you.
kind of fucky.
And there's some live action stuff.
Apparently.
So
I
this is
know.
in early access right now.
Yeah, soon to exit
Got
this
Kryptonite.
month. But it sounds like,
Oh, those are radiation bricks. I don't think they should be touching them and stuff. But what do I know?
well, I guess don't get on board because you're not ready for this
I don't want to touch.
this crazy train that we have that is Chernobyl light.
It looks pretty interesting. Did you watch the Chernobyl movie or series? It was on HBO.
No, but literally everyone that's ever watched it says it's amazing.
Oh, it's so dope. It's so dope and really well done. The same showrunners, creators of that are handling the Last of Us HBO show. So I think they're going to nail it.